Thank you for joining us today for our webinar, the most important thing that you must do with your email marketing campaigns. And if you know what that is, go ahead and drop that in the chat because maybe you don't need to be here today, or maybe you can host the show today if you know the most important thing you must be doing with your email campaigns. You must have signed up for a reason because you want to know what that most important thing is, or you've seen previous webinars from Campaigner and you want to learn more about email marketing. And that's what we're here to do today, is talk about email marketing and what you should be doing. Because right now, the pandemic is making people become overworked, stressed, and there's just a lot going on. Let's go ahead and hop into today's presentation and get started. You're a marketer and you send email. That's why you're here today, because you probably send email. Have you ever had a long week and said, oh gosh, it's almost the end of the week and I have not put an email together and I have not sent an email. Let me go ahead and just slap an email together and get it sent out. If you've done that, go ahead and chat and let me know you've done that. You know you've done that. I've done it and I'm admitting to it. We quickly slap something together and it looks decent, and we then say, oh my God, I haven't created a segment for this email. I don't even know who I want to send this to. You know what? I'm just going to choose my list and I'm going to send it to everybody. I'm just going to spam everybody because I need to get an email out the door. And the only thing I'm thinking about, or you maybe you're thinking about, is, hey, it's Friday and I want to start thinking about what shows I want to watch on Netflix. And then you slap back to reality and you say, well, okay, I got my email. I checked my list of who I want to send it to. What is the next thing I need to do? Well, you're just going to hit send. You're just going to send it out into the ether and hope for the best. I've been there and you've probably been there as well. Well, you probably, now that you sent your email, you can go ahead and get your Netflix and chill on. But for today, what I want you to do is just chill and listen to me. As a marketer, what is the most important thing to you? Let's think about this as an email marketer. Put your email marketing hat on and tell me in the chat, what is the most important thing to you as an email marketer? And I'm leaving it broad for a reason. I want to know, what is the most important thing to you as an email marketer? Go ahead in the chat. And usually we need to get one or two and then everybody starts to get going. I want to keep your fingers warm. I want to keep your energy levels high. And I want you to engage here, because who wants to have a boring webinar? Not me. And I don't want to provide one to you. Okay, open rate, relevance to audience, like that one, Richard. Tailor it to a target audience, target your subscribers effectively, creating follow-up orders. Okay, so that's maybe the conversion, right? Getting a conversion and then getting follow-up orders. Love it. Anything else that's important to you as a marketer or email marketer? Getting results that you're hoping for. Hopefully you're creating SMART goals, Doug. I hope you're creating SMART goals. I want to send this email and these are the results that I want. And if not, we can look at those metrics and we can tweak from there. Getting the correct brand messaging out there. Yes, a lot of things you're mentioning are going to be discussed in today's webinar. Clicking on links, awesome. I love the participation today. You are one of the best audiences I've had in a couple of months. Thank you. All right, when I talk to email marketers, a lot of email marketers say that open rates is very important. If they don't open the email, they can't engage with it. They can't convert. Therefore, the open is one of the most important things. Another thing could be the click rates. They have to open, but if they don't click, they don't go to my website, my landing page, you don't book a call with me if I'm a consultant or something. There's just nothing happening with the email if they don't click on it. You can provide content, but it's nothing as long as anyone does not engage with it, right? Another thing could be conversions. Maybe that's the most popular thing. And when I was an account manager, I always talked to my clients and said, I don't care about open rates. I don't care about click rates. My job is done when there's a conversion. You're making money so that you can pay for your email marketing platform. And that's what many marketers think about, is how much money or the ROI they're getting from email marketing. Or maybe some of the technical nerds out there, they're going to talk about email deliverability. None of the previous three items matter if my emails don't get into the inbox. If they don't see the email, they can't engage with it. They can't convert. And that is valid. If you worry about all the things on the other slide, or maybe even some of the things that were mentioned here, you'll have nothing but a big old mess and too much stress, and it can lead to some binge eating and probably eating some of those snacks like barbecue potato chips, the salt and vinegar potato chips, chocolate. Chocolate's probably a favorite for a lot of people when they're stressed out. I don't want you to binge eat for the wrong reasons. I want you to eat snacks as a reward, not because you've become stressed. What if I told you that there is one thing that you can do to make sure that your emails are truly going to give you results that matter to you? We're going to talk about that today. I want you to be able to truly Netflix and chill this weekend. Don't wait till Friday to get your email out. Plan it early. Do the things we're going to talk about today, then sit down and relax, read a book, or watch your favorite show. That one thing is value. It's as simple as that, folks. If you do and offer and include value in your email campaigns, your results will be much better. But when I say value, it's not just one thing. There's many aspects of how we're going to incorporate value into what we're doing with our email campaigns. Let's break it down and talk about those items. And if you have any questions along the way, folks, please add them to either the chat or the Q&A. It's just me today. I'm going to check the messages at the end of today's session. We'll talk about them and give you some more value. That's what I'm here to do today, is provide value to you through Q&A, questions, and information. And hopefully what we're going to learn today is how you can offer value to your email subscribers. I'm going to talk about three things today. The first thing is provide value in the onset with your email marketing campaigns. In other words, when you obtain email subscribers through signups, offer them value. The next thing is going to be your subject lines. Yes, it is important that people see your emails in the inbox and then open them. If you convey value in your subject lines, more and more people will open and lead to those other items like clicking, converting, maybe forwarding your email and sharing it with others, and helping you obtain a better ROI from your emails. And then there's the content. We have to talk about content, folks. When you're sending out emails, if you're just slapping that email together on 3 p.m. on Friday, hoping it's going to succeed, it may not. The results may not impress you. But if you have great content that people like, that they trust, and that they feel is valuable, they're going to engage more and they're going to stay subscribed to your email newsletters. Now, another thing is a bonus that I want to provide to you is segmentation and automation. How can we make sure we're using these tools to provide value to our audience? Let's hop in and talk about sign-up forms. One thing you want to do is make sure that you offer an excellent way to provide value to your audience. In other words, when you have a sign-up form, tell them why you want them to sign up. What are you offering? What are they going to get? It's important for them to know. Also, make sure any forms you have on the internet, wherever they are, landing page on your website, they adhere to your branding so that people trust you, so that they can get the value that you're offering. You should probably only ask for an email address. You can get away with asking for an email address and a first name because people feel like that's okay. They want my first name. They want to know who I am. And some people will know they're going to use personalization. They're going to add my first name to subject line or in the email, and that's okay. And there's no friction there. People are not afraid to provide more information. What if I was to offer you an email newsletter about email marketing from my website? And I asked you for your first name, last name, email address, last year's tax amount, how much you paid in taxes last year, your children's names, the color of your car, your favorite color, and also what insurance provider you have. Would you give all of that to me just to get email marketing tips? Probably not. There is no reason for you to ask for all of this information, at least up front, to start a relationship with someone. And we will talk about where it's okay to ask for more information and maybe when you can, if you need it and can use it. Here's a sample form from ColourPop. They just have a sign-up form at the bottom of their website, and it's simply asking for an email address. I love this example because it's just simple to the point, and it stands out at the bottom of the email. The next one's from Fuji, very similar. They're just asking for an email address. Now, when we hop in and look at these examples, Biscayne Tavern, a restaurant, you're asking for a little bit more information. I don't know about you, but I love free food or a discounted meal. And we all know most restaurants offer a discount or maybe a free meal around your birthday. If you provide your birthday, they'll send out a coupon. You go in, take advantage of the free offer. And I'll do that all day long. And it's okay to do that. Maybe if you're signing up for insurance, that company might need a little bit more information to help provide you with a quote or to provide you with relevant information. Maybe you need auto insurance, but you don't care about life insurance. And if you provide information about what kind of car you drive, they can give you more information and tips around your insurance, as well as tips for maintaining your vehicle. And also determining what people want. Bangkok newsletter is asking you, do you want to learn about food in Bangkok? Do you want to learn about nightlife? Or maybe you simply just want to sign up for their PDF magazine. It's really great that you can ask for more information and that you can also obtain people's interests so you can target them correctly using a sign-up form. Don't let your subscribers leave your website without signing up. What you can do is have a pop-up come up while somebody's on your website and ask them to provide an email address. Make sure that that pop-up does not come up within like 5 seconds of me going to your website. If this is my first time at your website, I probably have no idea exactly what you do, and you shove a pop-up form in my face, I am not going to fill it out. I'm going to hit the little X, get rid of it. If you wait 30 seconds or so, or another way to do that is through a exit intent technology platform. Well, what you can do is when they go to leave your website or close the tab, that pops up. Then you can ask for the email address. Hey, before you go, sign up. We'll give you 10% off your next purchase. Waiting a little bit of time, let people get used to your website, know what you do, read the content that's there. Or if they go to leave your website after a certain period of time, ask for the email sign up. That is a great way to go ahead and get those signups before they leave your website. Okay, I signed up for your email and now you have my email address. What are your subscribers going to get? What are you going to send? Really? What are you currently doing right now? I'm questioning that because maybe there's some things you can do to convey more value, or you can change up to make sure that you're starting that relationship off right, that you're providing value to your audience and you're getting the results that you want. Make sure you send a welcome email. As soon as somebody signs up, they should get a welcome email. It helps set the expectation right up from the start. Thank you for signing up for my newsletter. You can expect a newsletter from me once a month outlining how you can improve your email marketing campaigns, and I might offer some tools that you can use along the way. That would be a sample welcome email from me, possibly. Another thing you can do is add social links to your welcome email. Maybe they prefer or they also like to consume content on their favorite social media platforms. Don't be afraid to add those links to that welcome email to get people to follow you on your social platforms. Send it right away. Hopefully you have a sign-up form that's connected to whatever email platform you're using, Campaigner, hopefully. You can go ahead and send them a welcome message as soon as they fill out that form. If not, or maybe you're at an in-person event and it's almost impossible for you to add them in real time, add them to your platform as soon as possible, then fire off that welcome message so people don't forget who you are. If you wait a month, 2 months to add subscribers to your platform, they're going to forget who you are. They're going to ignore your email, or worse, mark it as spam. You can also ask to be whitelisted. We know that email deliverability is very challenging. And if you don't, there's a lot going on behind the scenes. When you click send, it doesn't just automatically go to the recipient's inbox. There's a lot of checks and balances behind the scenes that happen to determine if your email is going to go to the inbox or to the spam folder. Most times, not all the time, Your welcome message usually has a good opportunity to get to the inbox from new subscribers. And that's where you want to make sure add us to your email, add us to your contact list, and make sure you look for us if you're not seeing our emails. Ask them to engage with your emails and make sure your emails are getting to the inbox. You can include an offer with your welcome message. Thank you for signing up. Here's the 10% off that we promised you. Here's your free shipping code, whatever that is. Offer that in the welcome message, especially if you offered that up on your sign up form or you disclaim that on your sign up form. Why are welcome messages important? Well, they have a very high open rate. Most times people are looking for those welcome messages. Your open rate and click-through rate should be a lot higher than your normal open rates and click rates. 74% of subscribers are going to expect that welcome email from you. I went to a very well-known large sporting goods company here in Raleigh, North Carolina. It's national, probably having Canada and other countries as well. And they advertised with a sticker on their door that would give me 15% off my purchase if I signed up for their newsletter. I signed up, sat down on a bench outside. I waited 5 minutes. I waited 10 minutes. And that email never came. I decided to leave that store on purpose because I'm a marketer, because I did not get that welcome message with that offer. And I went somewhere else and bought what I needed. 3 days later, I got that welcome message. Am I going to drive the 15 or so miles it was from my house to go ahead and make another purchase? Probably not. It's very important to send that right away. Your click-through rate is going to be higher. If you're including links in there and they're of value and they're relevant, you should have a higher click-through rate than normal emails. They're more effective than standard newsletters. This is one of the most important pieces of real estate you have as an email marketer, is that first email you send to people. Make sure you're using it effectively. Here are a couple of examples. Here's Michael's. They're thanking you for signing up. They're using a little heart and they have bullet points and they're telling you what you can expect by signing up for their email newsletter. And of course, there is that incentive there. As a B2B example, my friends at Litmus are welcoming you to their email newsletter, and they're offering you tips, tricks, and more importantly, case studies, and then some resources that you can go ahead and click on and get that 56% click-through rate, which is normal or higher, or maybe a little bit lower in your welcome emails. We're going to dive into subject lines now, which is number 2 on my list. If you're winging it with your subject lines and you're just creating stuff out of the blue, this is probably what your subscriber sees in the inbox. Or maybe they just don't see your email at all because they're ignoring that and a lot of other emails from brands that they signed up for. Remember, we're all distracted right now because a lot of things that are going on, and we're also receiving way too many emails. Let's put on our reading glasses so we can focus on our subject lines. Number 1, use personalization in the subject line. I don't know about you, but if I'm out in public and somebody says my name, I'll turn around and I'll look. And I like to have my name spoken out loud. It's something that every human has ingrained in them. Their attention is grabbed when their name is said. And my name is Hank. So sometimes somebody will say, hey, and they're far away. And I think they're saying my name. That's a personal problem for me. Hopefully you don't have that. But use the first name in the subject line to get attention. Test your subject lines. Create 2 different versions of your subject line with the same content and use the testing tool. Campaigner has one. You can send 10% of whatever list or segment you're sending to one version, another 10% the other version. Let it sit for a little while, maybe 24 to 48 hours. See which one had more open rates. Then go ahead and send the remaining 80% for the folks that probably said it out loud. The winner, the one that had the more opens, that one will be more effective because you tested the different versions. I love using emoji in subject lines, also in social posts. Emoji helps you stand out in a crowded inbox. The thing is, not too many marketers use them. The holidays are coming up. You'll probably see more marketers and more brands using emoji. Then after the holidays, it starts to taper off again. If you look at my example here, the ones that stand out are the ones with emoji. Go ahead and use some more. It's safe to do that. Years ago, it was Not really a great way to make your email stand out in Emacs, because sometimes some email clients didn't support them and some did. You did not know. It was like roulette whether or not it would work. But now they're safe, they're supported. It's awesome. Your subject line should be about 6 to 10 words in length. Otherwise, it will get cut off in the inbox. And I've seen some bad examples where what they're trying to convey either didn't come across or didn't seem appropriate. Make sure it's 6 to 10 words in length. And as a pro tip, use pre-header text effectively. Pre-header text is the first bit of text that's in your email, or with Campaigner, you can set your pre-header text in our sending tool. That is considered an extension of your subject line. It's like what Robin is to Batman. They make up the dynamic duo and they conquer their enemies. Or in this case, by combining your subject line in bold in this example, then your pre-header text, which is to the right, you will be able to conquer the inbox and get more opens. It's a really cool thing to do. I see a lot more people using this. What you would normally say about maybe 2-3 years ago was, can't view this email, click here to view online. They did not take advantage of the pre-header text. And the first bit of information was the line I just said. And that was a waste of valuable real estate. Use pre-header text effectively. And there's another talk that I do called Head and Heart of Marketing. You need to use logic as well as emotion with a lot of content you're creating. What you can do is use logic in your subject line and then emotion in your pre-header, or vice versa, to get people interested, trust you, convey value, and appeal to their emotions and get them to open the email. All right. Email allows you to get personal. You can send an email and use data you have, including the first name, to make an email feel like a one-on-one conversation. You can send it to 10,000 people and make it feel like that one-on-one conversation. Try doing that with social media. You'd have to DM everybody that's following you. That'll take a little bit of time. With email, you can use personalization and use data you have to convey value and build that relationship. We already mentioned first name. You can use that. Maybe you have location information, where they reside, city. I asked everybody that was here early where they are. And now I know where some of you live, and some of you are in the US and Canada. I don't think I had anyone in any other country. I think the most countries I've ever had is 5. I'm trying to beat that. But it's cool to see people from around the world. You can inject the city name in the subject line or in the content, especially if you do location-based events. Maybe you're a conference organizer, or you're an author and you have a book signing coming up. You can use that data in your content to help personalize it. Another thing is, if you're collecting that birthday or maybe an anniversary date or last purchase date, you can use that information in your content, as well as whatever products or services people are interested or have bought from you. Use that information to your advantage. Amazon does that on their website and their emails. They're always using data they have to make sure they're making you buy more products from them. And who can resist the next day shipping? Let's switch gears and talk about content. And for me, this is the important, or the most important part of what you need to do with your email marketing campaigns. First and foremost, make sure you're using the 60-40 rule. 60% of your email should be text versus 40 in images. If you are using a lot of images and maybe it's 90% images or 100% images, there's probably a good chance that your email may get flagged as spam from the recipient servers. Therefore, using more text helps these filters know that you have valuable content that you want to provide to your subscribers. Use a variety of content. Nobody wants to be bored to death. Open your email and it looks the same and it reads the same with maybe a slight variation in your content. I worked with a client once that just every month sent the same exact email and just tweaked a couple little things. And we watched his email open rates go down because this client did not want to listen to me. After a while, we decided to use a variety of content, and we had 5 different templates to choose from that we changed up over time, and we saw it come back up on the other end, and he was a happy client after that. Adhere to your branding and your content as well. You want to make sure that you're using your tone and voice of your brand, as well as the color schemes and other options that you have for branding, so that people recognize you, trust you, remember you, and know that you're ready to convey that value. All of your images should have alt text. This is the text that goes behind the image or is a setting in the editor that says, if this image does not get loaded for the subscriber, here is what you should show. Now, just like with SEO, this is powerful. People think, oh, okay, picture of dog, if it's a dog, right? What does that mean? Will that make me want to enable images to see what those are? Make sure you're creating that moment of fear of missing out. What am I missing out by not looking at these images? You can say, cute picture of a puppy with a bow. I probably would rather see that than just a simple picture of a dog. Try it. You might like it. Also, with your content, you should be testing your content. You can do that as well. With Campaigner, we have experiments. You can try out numerous different versions of your email, maybe 3. You have 3 different templates you want to try. You can do that. You can do 10, 10, and 10%, and then the remainder 70% will get the winning email. I would probably say the results for that type of experiment or test will be based on the clicks. Content layout is important. Don't overwhelm your subscribers with a bunch of junk and stuff that just does not matter. I love Apple. They always let the products and services they offer speak for themselves. Here's an email about a laptop. They're letting the picture of the laptop speak for itself. If anyone knows Apple or is an Apple fan, which I am, they know what a MacBook Pro can do. Maybe I'm in the market for a new one. Maybe mine is 4 or 5 years old. And now I'm ready to buy it, but I want to learn a little bit more. I'm going to click the buy now and learn more about it using the link below. Simple, to the point. And I love what they're doing here to using what's called negative or white space. They have a lot of blank area around so that your eyes can actually consume what is in front of you. Wisteria, they're using what's called the classic Z pattern. When we read from left to right and then down. Simple as that. This is a good way to get people to read more of your email, especially if it's a little bit longer. Be careful. You don't want your emails to be too long either. Otherwise, it'll get cut off in the inbox. And more importantly, with Gmail, they truncate your email. You've probably seen this at the bottom of an email where it says, click here to view more, view everything. The most important part of that is that your unsubscribe link will be removed from that part as well. And if they can't unsubscribe, what are they going to do, folks? They're going to mark your messages spam. That's right. I heard 3 of you. Use the classic Z pattern. In other words, use content to drive people's eyeballs left, right, and down. And as long as you have valuable content and you're using good content, it will work. I like to use the squint test when I build emails. You're going to take an email and you're going to build it and you're going to look at it and you're going to squint. Go ahead and, well, you don't have to squint now because I already did that for you with this filter. This is what an email might look like if you're squinting. Here is the original. If you can make out to a point what is in that template or in that email, you're okay. You passed the squint test. If you squint and you can't really tell anything or where one element ends and one element begins, you probably did not create the email with negative or white space, and or you have a lot going on and it's too crowded. Just redo the email. I know if it's on a Friday, you want to Netflix and chill, either wait till Monday or just take the time, grab a glass of wine and just hit delete and start over, folks. Humans are visual by nature. We love images. That's why TikTok and Instagram is so popular, because that's what it's based on. It's based on images and video. When we look at images, they help convey emotion and information, and more importantly, helps break up the text. Unless you are, say, a consultant, maybe a lot of text and just some information is okay, but including images always helps. And even having your brand conveys that sense of authority and trust. Also, make sure to use video in your emails because it helps convey information, and not that many people are using video. And I know if you're a small business, you might say, well, I can't create videos. To an extent, I can agree with you. Is it a budgetary concern? Is it knowledge? Anyone can use a smartphone and create a video. If it is of decent quality and your audio is okay, that's fine to use. Start a YouTube channel, start including those in your emails. Why is that? Why, Hank? Why is that important? Well, right now, 80% of marketing is video. You're missing out if you're not using video. And more importantly, 95% or consumers retain 95% of the content that they watch in a video versus 10% that they read via text. Videos are crucial. Make sure you're doing more of it next year. You have to provide value to an audience because that is the only way people are going to engage with your emails. When I go out to buy a product like a coffee mug, I want value. I want warm coffee, and I don't want it to break. I want it to be a strong mug. I want it to be of quality, and I want it to work. I'm looking for value. Same thing with your emails. I love to use the bank analogy. When you're sending emails that are not selling upfront, other than your welcome email, you can offer that 10% if people are looking for it. But send out emails that matter. If I own an insurance company, maybe I notice somebody has auto insurance through me. What I should be doing is every week pounding them with emails about signing up for life insurance, right? Every week, just once a week, sign up for my life insurance, sign up for my life insurance, right? Probably not. What I can be doing is say, here's how to care for your car if you're going on a long-term trip. Here's a 10-point checklist. And if maybe somebody has homeowners insurance, I can offer information about how to keep my house safe from fire, from burglary, whatever it is. Maybe it's an alarm system or having fire extinguishers and strategic places to install them and have them available. That would be valuable information to me if I was to have homeowners insurance or auto insurance through that company. And then every now and then, maybe what they can do is offer me the life insurance, right? Because it is something they offer. And at some point, maybe that is something I'm looking for. And that's when you ask for the withdrawal. What you're going to do is make those deposits with valuable content, and then you're going to ask for the withdrawal. You're going to fill out that withdrawal slip and say, here's my offer, here's what I'm selling, here's what I want to do. And if you're a retailer, you might say, well, that's hard for me to do. I'm going to argue against you. Maybe you can send out a little bit more value in your emails and include some products at the bottom or at the top, but also make sure that you're providing information. Make sure you're making more deposits than withdrawals. Otherwise, you're going to overdraft your bank account, your value bank account. The more value you provide, the more you're going to build a stronger relationship, the more conversions you're going to have. If you have not read it, please go out and buy Gary Vaynerchuk's book, Jab, 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 Right Hook. Again, jab, 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 right hook. And it's around again, and mostly it's social he's talking about, but you can also correlate that to email. Value, 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 ask for the sale. Love the book. I have it on my stack back here as well. I've read it twice so far. All right, we're into the bonus section, and love the questions that are coming in. Keep them going. We're going to talk about them at the end. Segmentation is a feature in email marketing platforms where you can filter out certain people. In other words, I have a list of people and I've collected information about them. Maybe I want to filter on what city they're in because I have an event coming up, and I can say, show me anyone near Raleigh, which I'm in, and I want to target them. Maybe it's favorite color. You collect a favorite color because you're selling products with certain colors. You can filter based on what information you have, and that would be favorite color for this example. Really quickly, that book was Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk. Google that, it'll come right up. All right, when it comes to segmentation, there's a certain percentage of increase in revenue or ROI you should get from email marketing according to the DMA. In other words, by creating these filters and targeting your audience correctly, you should receive a certain percentage increase in ROI. What is that? Take a guess in the chat. I want your guesses. Ever since I've used this information, I've only had 2 people come close. Nobody has ever gotten it spot on. So go ahead and guess by actually targeting your audience. What percentage increase in revenue should you obtain with your email marketing campaigns? Don't be shy. Go ahead and put that in the chat. 73. Now, you see, I put 3 question marks there because I always have to say, let's try triple digits like Richard just did. But Richard, you're still a little bit low as well because that number is actually 760%. Could you imagine sending emails that matter to people because you have information that says they would like this information or this is going to be relevant to them? Could you imagine that? That's why segmentation is so important. Let's talk about the 4 pillars of segmentation. The first one's geographic. Where are they? We covered that already. Like what country, what city are they in, and what's the density there if that's important. That used to be important with direct mail, but it could be important with email. Then we have demographic information, age, gender, income, education, and occupation. Maybe that's important to you as a marketer. Another one is going to be psychographic. I love this one. This is people's lifestyle, value, concerns, personality, attitudes, and AIO, activities, interests, and opinions. Now you're going to say, well, Hank, how do I get this data? This is not something that I would ask for on a sign-up form. Maybe if I'm networking with someone, I can get that. But how do I write that down and then put that in my email platform if they sign up, because they got permission from them? Usually how you obtain this information is through surveys. Don't be afraid to use surveys. If you ask nicely in an email for more information and why you're collecting it so that I can send you more relevant and interesting information, they'll go ahead and do that for you. Try it. It'd probably be successful for you. And then behavioral. What are people doing and not doing? Are they opening, not opening, clicking, not clicking? Are they visiting your website? You can also track that through your email platform. What signals are they giving you, whether it's something that they're not doing and becoming disengaged, and maybe you want to win them back over. And then also don't forget about your VIPs, people that are opening, they are clicking, and they are converting. Don't forget to treat them just as good as people that you're begging to come back and buy from you. Repeat purchases are always more powerful than getting new ones because current customers are always cheaper to reconvert than it is to acquire a new customer. All right, marketing automation. Almost every email tool has this these days. It allows you to convince the right people to need what you provide at the right time. Marketing automation is better than just going in and creating an email once a week and sending out an email, which you can do, but automation is really going to help you because it helps you cut down on that repetitive work, especially if it's, say, a nurture series for a welcome series. And we'll go over that in the next slide. You can send emails, you can send SMS messages, especially with Campaigner. You can make decisions if this happened or didn't happen, if this data is here or not here, do this, and if not, do that. You have all of these sounds like complex ways to do things, but it's very simple actually. And you can change the status, you can add and remove people from lists. Let's look at a sample workflow of Hank wanting to send out an email newsletter about marketing tips. All right, I'm going to have my recipients. And what I want to do is I'm asking people if they are an agency or a marketer, let's say like at a brand, or they do work for someone else. Maybe I can do that. What I'm going to do is use segmentation to find out which one they're in. And let's just say this is general marketing. I'm going to move on and send them that welcome email. Thank you for signing up for my email marketing news tips. Here's the first email in this sequence. But what you're going to get moving forward is this, 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 and this. You can unsubscribe at any time if you do not obtain value from me. Thank you for signing up again. Maybe I'm going to wait 7 days. And what's cool here is you can check. If they didn't open or didn't click the email, you can go ahead and resend that same email with a different subject line to make sure they see it and make sure they open. And I say open and or click because there's this thing that's happening with Apple Mail now and some other providers that will follow suit that are automatically opening emails for people that use Apple Mail on an iPhone, Mac, or an iPad, regardless of if they touched the email or opened it. It's going to inflate your open rates. If you want to talk about that, contact me, contact anyone at Campaigner. We'll be happy to talk to you about what that means. It is going to really start skewing your metrics over the course of a year. Right now, there's not a lot to worry about. And make sure you go to the Campaigner YouTube channel and search for the, I'm trying to think of the name, it was a data privacy webinar we did, and it talks about that as well. I'm not going to go into the weeds there. But again, I can resend that same email with a different subject line. But let's keep this simple. I'm going to send the next email. This is going to be the next email in the series. Again, thank you for signing up. Here's a second email. I want to provide you with some cool tools as a marketer so that you can be successful. Wait 7 days. I'm going to send another email, and that one's going to be, here are some content tips and design tips for your email campaigns. Just keep providing that jab, 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 right hook, the deposit, deposit, deposit. And what I can do is if someone has not engaged with any of those emails in any way, I can remove them. I can just say, remove them from the list. I can say, delete them, get rid of them, because I know if they don't engage with this many emails, however many that is in your sequence, we can just go ahead and remove them. Because trust me, folks, having disengaged subscribers on your list actually hurts you more than it helps you. But if they did engage, they click, they open, whatever it is, I can go ahead and say, hey, why don't you purchase my online course, my book, or use my platform, buy my product or service, whatever that is. That's the withdrawal. That's the right hook where we're actually asking for the conversion. Then I can say, you know what, I'm going to add the folks that are engaged to my general newsletter that I send out monthly. This is just an example. It's not necessarily exactly what everyone on this webinar today has to do, but that's an example. A huge benefit of providing value to your subscribers is that they will engage with your emails. And in turn, the icing on the cake is that you're going to get an added benefit. More of your emails are going to show up in the inbox. Every time you send an email, it's being scrutinized. It's being graded. I use Gmail because they have one of the most strict algorithms there is. Every time you send an email, they're looking at what their users are doing. Are they engaging with your email? Are they opening an email? Are they unsubscribing? What are they doing? And what happens is, I like to think of it as a credit score. I love analogies. When you have a bad credit score, more of your emails go to spam. When you have a high credit score, more emails go into the inbox. What are some positive things that happen to an email? When you send an email as a marketer, what are positive signals? Obviously, I'm going to get this started because nobody's typing and nobody's jumping. Maybe you're just too ingrained in what I'm saying here, but open rates. Let's put that one out there. What else? Yes, I'm waiting on you. Click rates. I do this same type of questioning in person at conferences, and I always have to like point at somebody in the audience to get them going. What are positive things that happen to an email? We already said open. We have click rates. What else? Forwarding, starring, marking is important. And there's one that almost nobody ever gets. It's called TINs. This is not spam. If someone actually goes into the spam folder, sees your email there and says, this is not spam, especially to Gmail, that is the most important, ultimate form of engagement. Maybe you think you're having some deliverability concerns. When you send your email, what did I tell you about sign-up forms or your welcome email, asking people to follow you on social media as well? What you can do is send your email out, then send a tweet and say, hey, our most recent newsletter went out. If you don't see it in your inbox, make sure to look for it in your spam folder. It's okay to say that, folks. It's okay. Doesn't make you look bad. Then what happens? They go to their inbox. It's not there. They go to their spam folder. They pull it out. That's a form of engagement. And Gmail's going to reward you for that and start sending more of your emails to the inbox. What are some bad things that happen to an email? Negative things, negative signals that happen. Bouncing, right? It's an email address that doesn't exist or temporarily does not exist. Well, soft bounces, like a full email box, doesn't really hurt you. The hard bounces do. In other words, you pull up floppy disk from your desk, blow it off. Who knows what a floppy disk is? You blow off the floppy disk, you stick it in some $300 adapter you bought because floppy disks don't really exist, and you import that 15-year-old list. Obviously, a lot of those email addresses are going to be stale and they're going to bounce because they're invalid. That is going to cause issues. If they mark your message as spam, if they unsubscribe, and the most important one that nobody gets, again, that's why you're all here, folks, is for value, is if they ignore your emails. That's why we talk about list hygiene. That's why we talk about cleaning your list. Identifying people who have not opened it or clicked an email in a period of, say, a year, and either running a re-engagement campaign, one or a series of emails to try to win them back, or just simply remove them. I'll pat you on the back if you just remove them. You can always add them back. What that does is show Gmail that you're only sending emails to people that want them and that you're providing value, and you'll get rewarded for it. And that keeps your credit score high. That means more of your emails go to the inbox. And as I mentioned, somebody might come back to me and say, well, you know what, everybody who signs up for my email, my forum, they seem to get it in their inbox. Yes, but what about the other people that have been receiving your emails for a while and haven't really been engaging a lot? Again, usually the welcome email is treated differently than your regular emails. What I'm saying here, folks, is by providing value to your audience, you're going to keep them engaged. Hopefully they'll open, hopefully they'll click. And more importantly, like a couple of you said earlier today, they're going to convert. I want you to provide value, and I want you to keep your emails going to the inbox. Better deliverability, more engaged subscribers from the start, more opens leads to more clicks, and that leads to better conversions. People value relationships. Be valuable and you'll be successful. You're a marketer. You are a successful marketer that offers value. Go from Netflix and chill to email and convert. Hopefully today's session was very valuable to you. And if it was, let me know. If it was not, let me know. If this was a waste of time for you, I'd love to hear that, because we want to make sure these webinars matter to you. Same thing you should be doing is asking your subscribers what matters to them so that you can make changes. Let's hop over to the Q&A. Let's talk about email marketing. Thank you, Monica. I appreciate you saying it was valuable. Let's go in, and I am just scrolling through. I'll get to the Q&A part because there's 2 sections for Zoom. I just want to make sure that I'm getting that. Richard, I'm gonna have to remember to, I think it might have been a song. He asked what song I was playing. I think it was the one I paused. It was Mess With Me by Alias, and there seems to be 3 I's in there. That is the MozCon 2021 official playlist, and MozCon is part of our family, the Moz group. I curated that, not I curated that. That's what they used for their conference this year. I really love that soundtrack because it's just some general great, good feeling music. Feel free to check that out. See, I'm just providing so much audience. All right, let me see what the next question is. See, the problem with asking questions and getting so much participation is sometimes it's hard to find all the questions. Does the Z pattern work for other languages like Arabic? Oh, that's great. You know, I've never had anyone ask that. Thanks, Monica. I think it's like Chinese, they go down, right? Therefore, you want to follow a pattern of where it would draw people's eyes downward. So if it is more vertical than it is horizontal and vertical, you can find ways to use images and text to do that. Maybe it's some text and then an image, some text and then just keep people's attention flowing downward. Sometimes people use arrows to do that too, like a small banner with arrows, so people think psychologically that there's more valuable content. Richard said, interesting, that video is important, but if too high a percent, there may be spent. Yeah, you have to be careful, right? You have to make sure that you're putting enough text and then images and videos in your email so that it's valuable and that it's what do you want to call it, visually appealing to your audience, as well as you want to appeal to the deliverability gods, right? And it's tough. Who said email marketing was easy? We already covered the book. That's great. Yes, you can send SMS campaigns in Canada through Campaigner. If you want to learn more about that, contact us, contact me. And folks, if you're looking to connect with me, I am on all the socials. If you Google my name, I'll show up. All my social channels show up in Google. I ask one thing: if you're going to connect with me on LinkedIn, make sure you personalize that note and let me know that you were on this webinar or whatever. I'll probably offer to have a quick call with you because I only accept people that I've either met virtually or in person. It's just a weird quirk I have. I've gotten burned twice ever since I've relaxed that rule, but I do have a template that I send to everyone that asks to connect me. Kind of interesting. If you want to learn about that, let me know. All right. Any other questions? Arabic, read left for, yeah, it would be a reverse Z pattern. So I don't know what that would, yeah, I guess reverse Z pattern. I was going to try to patent a term for that for myself, but I can't think of one. I don't think I see anything in the Q&A section. Any other questions? Either one, you're afraid to ask a question. Number two, I provided so much information that you don't have any questions. Or number three, there's still more to come. What is considered a good open rate? Always a great question. It depends. Depends on what industry you're in. Average, if you're in the 20s, usually you're okay. That's like email average open rate. But if you're in retail, it's usually going to be a little bit lower. If you're in finance, it's usually going to be a little bit higher. I forgot the name of the resource, and if it comes to me, I'll let you know. But Google 2021 email open rates by industry average, Smart Insights, that's what it is. They can usually provide you with stuff for your specific industry. But the tip and advice I want to give you is benchmark yourself. Where are you at now? And what can be your growth pattern? In other words, if you're at 15% now, you should strive to be at 18% in 2 to 3 months. Then try to get up into the 20s, 22, 23. Don't make it so high. Like, I want to get from 15 to 30 in 2 months. It's probably not going to happen. And keep in mind, not everybody opens every single email, but certain people open certain emails. Just make sure that you gauge yourself and you grow accordingly. When is your, I don't have a next Head to Heart session. I did it for Litmus Live. I know that's gated because you have to pay to go to that, but it is on our YouTube channel, and I will go back and try to get you that link, Monica, and send that to you. What is the difference between a click to open and click through? There's what's called a click rate. How many people clicked? And if you send to 100 people and 5 people clicked, that would be the correlation there, and that would be the percentage. And I'm bad at math, so I'm not going to do that. Maybe some mathematicians, 5, what is that? Is that a 5% or a 0.5%? I don't know. But if you sent to 100 people and 50 opened up and then 5 clicked, that's the click-through rate. That is the rate you need to look at. How many people clicked that actually opened your email? Because if nobody opened your email and they didn't click, that doesn't matter. It's really skewing your results. It is important to know at a glance what your click rate is, but the click to open rate is probably the most important. Thank you, Cindy. That was a really great question. You guys are a great group. I really love the engagement. I really love the questions and your participation. Angelina, do you know how to find out who is opening the emails and who is not through Campaigner, and how to... Yes, but remember what I said about Apple Mail. In other words, we can look at people through segmentation that have been in the account for a year, that have been sent at least X amount of emails, 10 emails, whatever you want. I don't know your frequency, that have not opened any email, or a specific email you can look at. But yes, you can identify them, and you can either just remove them, or you can send them an email. Hey, we noticed you haven't been opening your emails. We want to give you a 30% discount if you come back. Sometimes, usually, I think they say usually you get like a 2% return rate on those when you send those re-welcome emails. If it's important to you to do that, go ahead. But if not, just go ahead and remove them. There's a lot you can do with email deliverability. And we have account managers and client success managers that can help you, a campaigner, navigate the waters of email deliverability. There's a couple other webinars we've done around making sure you're using authentication, which is DMARC, DKIM, and SPF. That is stuff that you put on your domain to show that Campaigner or whatever provider you're using has permission to send your email. And yes, that matters, as well as strategies like sending to your most engaged folks one day, then trickling in folks that have not been engaged in other emails. There's a lot of different things you can do. A lot of people think email marketing is going into a platform, creating an email, choosing a list, sending it, looking at your rates, and collecting your money at the end of the day of who converted. There's so much more to that for you to be successful. And yes, email marketing has the best ROI. In other words, it's not expensive and you get really good results, but you can get so much more if you actually follow best practices, which is why we do these webinars. And stay tuned for any future webinars we have. I hope that you'll come to those and be just as engaging, because this is so much fun. All right, Cindy, you're full of questions. Love it. Understand Campaigner automatically does not send to anyone who unsubscribes. Is it better to delete? You could keep them in there. Even if you delete them, we're going to keep them because we know they unsubscribed. It doesn't matter, really. They don't count against your subscriber limits and all that. I would just say don't worry about it. It's one less thing. I'd rather see you go in and spend that 5, 10, or 15 minutes creating better emails based on what we discussed today. Don't worry about that. Same thing with bounces. If it's a hard bounce, we'll remove that. We have a new tool, newer, called Reputation Defender. If you are a large sender, in other words, you do have a lot of subscribers, you want to make sure your list is staying clean. This tool will, in the onset, go through and look at your subscribers, and then subsequently every month take a look at people that we have found to have invalid email addresses that are validated, and we'll go ahead and remove them from your platform, or from your account. Sorry. And the difference there is you might have to wait till you'll send to get those removed. In other words, when I send, 10 people bounce, but that can hurt my domain reputation that we mentioned, the credit score. What Reputation Defender does is automatically remove that before you send. A lot of great things going on out there, and getting close to time. And I appreciate everyone being here. Thank you for all of your engagement, all of the awesome questions. Stay tuned for our next webinar. We don't have it planned yet, but we hope to soon. Hope you have a great day. Enjoy your snacks, and I hope you do actually get to Netflix and chill this weekend. Thank you, everybody.